weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating and Air. Happening right now, a Senate committee led by Kentucky Senator Rand Paul questions Dr. Anthony Fauci, accusing the former head of the COVID response team of misleading Americans about the source of the coronavirus and then lying to Congress.
The committee asked for your voluntary cooperation to come today. Your appearance had to be compelled by subpoena. You're here today under duress. You're here today because of the court ordering it.
Fauci, though, continuing to invoke the fifth at the hearing.
Many people believe this came from the lab. Do you think that the risks really are worth the benefits for gain-of-function research?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Now, Fauci never answering any questions. Jay O'Brien has more from Washington.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, 85 years old, once the nation's top infectious disease expert who retired in 2022, has long been a target of Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, the chair of the powerful Senate Homeland Security Committee, who's accused Fauci of everything from mishandling the COVID response to misleading the public about COVID's origins to even lying to Congress, all of which Fauci strenuously denies.
Yeah, the origin of the pandemic still a question in many people's minds. Fauci long contending that the most likely scenario is that the virus spread from animals to humans. Paul saying the virus was likely released from a laboratory in China that was studying coronavirus. We'll be watching the hearing. Check back for updates. All right, your weather for today. The air is going to be drying out, so less humid, mostly sunny, and a high of 90 this afternoon, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming your way in just about 2 minutes. Some frightening moments late Monday as two Delta flights at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport came dangerously close to each other.
The pilot of a Delta flight inbound from Pittsburgh had to request a go-around after another aircraft was still on the approach runway. But that then put the aircraft too close to a Delta flight that was taking off.
Delta 1568, turn left. Can you turn left?
We're in the left turn now, Delta 1568.
Okay, Delta 1568, thank you. Turn left. Delta 2472, turn right now, heading 090.
Audio from liveatc.net indicates the planes were less than 2,000 feet apart at one point. No one was injured. The FAA is now investigating the incident. Graham Cale, 95.5 WSB.
The owners of more than 560,000 Ford Broncos and Bronco Raptors are being notified about a safety recall. It's because of a possible engine compartment fire. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration saying that the wiring in the 2021 through 2026 models may short circuit. If that happens, then you might get a dashboard alert or see some smoke coming out of the vents before flames appear on the passenger side of the engine compartment. Ford says only about 1% of the recalled vehicles are impacted and that the company will install new covers in the wiring for no cost to you. There will be one more vote to decide the next leader of the 13th Congressional District. That includes parts of Metro Atlanta. No candidate got 50% of the vote in Tuesday's special election, so it's headed for a runoff. Marcy Scott is the top vote getter, receiving almost 47% of the vote. She's looking to fill the seat of her late father, David Scott, following his death in April. She's going to face former Gwinnett County School Board Chair Everton Blair, who got 36% of the vote. The runoff election is going to be held on August 25th. Now, let's take a look at the markets. Wall Street opening with stocks lower today. This comes as traders are awaiting the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision. A majority of investors believe that the Fed will hold rates steady. Several Fed officials recently expressing concerns about persistently high inflation. At the opening bell, all three major averages were in the red, and they still are in the red right now. The Dow's down 638, 52,108. So the Dow's down more than a full percent. NASDAQ's down almost a 0.5%. The S&P also in negative territory. All right, let's get a check of the roads. Ashley Frasca is joining us from the WSB 24-hour Traffic Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Sabrina still watching a little bit of a crowd through the heart of the city on the downtown connector as you head north, 75, 85 from University Avenue up to Freedom Parkway. And it looks like an ambulance on the shoulder with a crash that's cleared out of the travel lanes, but it's connector southbound right past William Street, keeping you on the brakes. And then you've still got a crowd out of Alpharetta, slow going on 400 south, roughly between Haynesbridge and Holcomb Bridge. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, drier air filtering in, so lower humidity for the ride home this evening. Today's high is 93, lows tonight in the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow and Friday, sunshine with highs in the low 90s.
It is 79 degrees in Snellville and Tucker. Midtown Atlanta has 80 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Wednesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole fam with us today. Gracie Award-winning Deborah is executive producer of the show. Darius is screening the calls, and of course, Vinny Drip on the other side of the takeout window. Coming up in 30 minutes, political analyst Stephen Lawson is going to join us live. Kim Commando talking tech at 11:35. And Deborah, you've got another amazing prize pack to give away today, my friend.
Yeah, John Mellencamp going to be at Ameris this weekend, so we will have your last chance to win tickets.
John Mellencamp. I'm still training my brain not to say the middle name. In case you're just joining us, bombshell dropped today at a Senate hearing on the COVID pandemic response. Dr. Anthony Fauci said this.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Yeah, unbelievable. I did not see that coming, but I just think he's like, I'm never going to go to jail if I don't say a word. So he's just going to try not to perjure himself over the next couple of hours. Coming up at 11 o'clock, Ashley Fields from News Nation is monitoring the hearing and will join us live with the latest. You heard Sabrina mention it. We are expecting to hear from the Fed chair today in relation to interest rates. Covering the story and joining us on the Mark Arum Show, correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, good morning. Any indication which way Kevin Warsh is going to go with these interest rates?
Probably nowhere fast is the general consensus. So today's announcement follows what will be a two-day meeting of the Fed in order to determine what to do with interest rates moving forward. And look, some of the inflation data from June was much better than expected, but you and I both know that there were new tensions with Iran that caused a spike in fuel prices in July. So maybe it's not a good time to lower interest rates based on what we're all experiencing right now. So the general idea is Warsh still getting his footing as the new chair of the Fed. He's waiting for some economic data to come in that he has commissioned and is probably just going to sort of put a pin in things for right now and maybe make some changes at the next meeting.
So we expect things to just hold steady, no interest rate increase or interest rate decline.
Right. Now, remember, President Trump has been begging for interest rate cuts, and that's, calling him too late Powell, saying that Jerome Powell was too late to cut interest rates or hasn't cut them enough. Part of the reason that President Trump didn't reappoint Powell to the job, so he puts Kevin Warsh in, and the supposition is that, well, President Trump wants him to come in and lower rates, but we're not yet seeing any evidence of that because he's, again, is still pretty new on the job. And there's something else different about Kevin Warsh. He doesn't suggest which way the winds may be blowing. He doesn't show any ankle, as they might have said in the Victorian days, because he's not really giving us a clue as to how he thinks rates may go in the fall or winter. Chairman Powell would say, well, this meeting, it looks like we'll stay the same, but maybe things will change in October. That's not the way Warsh operates. He's going to be much more tight-lipped. Now, they will have the announcement this afternoon, and there will be a press conference traditionally that follows, but let's see how much Warsh actually has to say and what reporters can pull from him.
Interesting. So he keeps his cards close to the vest. The Fed's going to release its decision at 2 p.m., followed hopefully by that Warsh news conference at 2:30 p.m. And I think you already answered my next question. The reaction that we're going to hear from the West Wing, because we know President Trump wasn't happy with Jerome Powell, and how much pressure is he going to try to exert on his new nominee and confirmed head of the Fed?
Well, right. And look, you want to keep your Fed chair independent from presidential politics. That's one of the other accusations. President Trump, very critical of Jerome Powell, rarely mentions that he actually appointed Powell to that job during his first term, but clearly wanted a change there, thought that the Fed was acting too slowly. And remember, the Fed has a dual mandate. They are required to do two things: to maximize employment, and the unemployment numbers are good, but to keep inflation at 2%. Well, that's where we have a problem, because inflation is about double that amount right now, and that's where the Fed is sort of in this tough spot about what to do with rates, which is why the consensus is hold for now.
Final quick question for you, Rory, for the folks listening. How does it impact the listeners, this interest rate that's set by the Fed?
Yeah, this won't really affect mortgage rates. Mortgages are more set by the bond market, but it could immediately impact your credit card rate By the way, bad news for you. If you have credit card debt already on there, it won't affect that. But new charges would be affected on whatever the rate is. It would also affect some business loans. So you could see that it could increase business activity if they were to lower those interest rates. So a car loan could also get a lot cheaper if they choose to lower rates here.
The world will be listening. 2 p.m. We hear from the Fed chair. Rory, great stuff as always. Have a good day, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
Bill Caiaccio, afternoon ooze anchor, a.k.a. Billy Cacciatore, will update that news when it breaks, what the Fed will do with interest rates. That, again, is at 2 p.m. today on 95.5 WSB. Checking the markets now. Oof. Dow's down 700 points. NASDAQ's down 162. Oil prices up. The West Texas crude almost up 7% today, just under $85 a barrel. We're going to get some big announcements after the bell closes today. Meta and I believe Microsoft are announcing their earnings. So I don't know why they do it after the bell closes. That leads me to say that it's not going to be good. They're like, let's not announce it while the market's open. Let's do it after. Anyway, that is coming up. I don't give stock advice. I don't own single shares of a single company. But if I read this story correctly, Deborah, I might change that. Jersey Mike's is doing an initial public offering. Jersey Mike's, the sub shop.
Mm-hmm.
And Jersey Mike's makes a hell of a sub.
Do they?
It's a little pricey for me, but I have never had a bad sub at Jersey Mike's. What do we know about this IPO?
All right, so their initial public offering, IPO, as there's a huge demand for it, more than 10 times the available shares. Right now, the IPO consists of 43.5 million shares, and they only cost about $20 to $25 each, and that's why there's such a demand on it. And it's about, it includes approximately 29.7 million shares offered by the backers, which are that Blackstone that we've heard that invest in like a ton of other stuff.
I'm surprised that they weren't public already. They have exploded.
I thought they were too, yeah.
The first one opened on Howell Mill. I remember when it first opened, I was like, well, I'd never even heard of it. I was like, Jersey Mike's. I went in, hell of a sub. Vinny, are you a Jersey Mike's guy?
I've had it one time.
Just
and it
once.
Was so amazing.
Yeah, they used to do a chicken parm sub. And they don't do that anymore. But the tuna sub, even my dad, there's one in my hometown, which blows my mind. That because in Connecticut, sandwiches like that, sub sandwiches, they're called grinders for whatever reason. So you have an Italian grinder, a meatball grinder, chicken parm grinder, etc. And you could go to any deli in my town and get an amazing grinder, an amazing
they just
sub
make
sandwich.
them right there.
Yeah. Nodi, like Nardine's, I forgot. Jimmy's Corner Store on the top of East Main Street. Go in there, you get there's amazing delis. And when Jersey Mike's opened in my hometown, I was like, that's never going to work. Like, you can get a million great sandwiches. My parents went there like 2 nights ago. Went to Jersey Mike's.
And they liked it?
They love it. My dad got the tuna. My mom got the Philly cheesesteak. The only problem is it is expensive. Like, it's a lot of money. It's more than like a public sub.
People will pay for something if they know it's that good.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what I've been doing. A little hack from your Uncle Mark kids on Uber Eats. They have this deal. And if you spend $20 or more, you get a free turkey sub.
Oh.
Yes. So that's like Maya and I's go-to on Saturdays when we want lunch. And I'll get, like ultimate sandwich or a tuna sub. And that's like $14. And then Deborah's gagging as I say that. I'm so sorry. And then I'll get like 2 bags of chips and a cookie. And that's $20.01. And then it triggers the free turkey sub.
So you get like a whole meal for both of you.
Yeah, and Maya gets the free. But anyway, again, I'm not offering stock advice. I don't know. But it boggles my mind that my parents are getting Jersey Mike's in Connecticut, where they have a million. But I'm thinking about people in, no, I don't want to say Wisconsin, but like North Dakota, right? There's probably not a good deli around North Dakota. Or Bismarck.
Probably the way that you're used to at the East Coast anyway.
Boise, right?
Yeah.
It's a desert of good sub shops. I'm making a broad assumption here. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But when you get a Jersey Mike's in Whitefish, Montana, like there's going to be a line around the block. You're going to be eating delicious subs for the first time in your life. So I don't even have a stockbroker. I don't know. I'll call Sanjay and see. I think he has an account. Like he can buy stuff. I don't know.
He'll handle it for you.
Sure. He does my taxes.
He's the one that would know the most.
Brass tax accounting, by the way. Sanjay is the man. I'll get 10 shares. What did you say? It was $20-something?
About 25 to 28.
Yeah. I like that business. Again, it's not a cheap sandwich. If you grew up on Subway, you will get sticker shock at Jersey Mike's.
I gotta ask you: is the buy one get one? Is it the big sandwiches?
Half.
You know they got the
half, not a
half.
whole.
Okay.
But so it's a free half a turkey sub.
Ah,
but that's good. You can get that for Colby. You get the full size Philly cheesesteak, whatever you want.
that'll last me about
lunch
3
the
days.
next day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get a whole sandwich from Jersey Mike's. It's 2 meals.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
For me. Some people could stretch it into 3 meals, I'm sure. All right. Don't take stock advice from me. The stocks, although I did say buy the Brave stock, and I think the Brave stock's doing well. All right. Speaking of things that I love, sandwiches, I also love coffee. I am not a guy that often goes to Starbucks, maybe once a month if I'm out and I need a coffee. I did it this weekend when Maya kicked me out for the baby shower, and I was driving around with Soba. I went and got a caramel frappuccino, the iced thing, which I hardly ever do. But I do drink 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day. What are you pointing?
Vinny had the same thing when we were at the hospital. We went to the Starbucks at the hospital. And
Caramel
he ordered the same
frappuccino, that's
thing.
my go-to.
Heard, yeah,
Heard.
it's good. But we're getting the tally of Americans' coffee expenses, Deborah.
Yeah, so if you go to one of these coffee joints, not necessarily Starbucks, any local cafe, and you buy anything besides a black coffee, right?
Which
Black
is usually
coffee
I
is
get.
kind of your go-to,
Yeah.
right? And that's usually pretty affordable. If you get anything with like the shots or the syrups or the flavors or the whipped cream or whatever, that ends up costing Americans anywhere between $2,000 and $5,500 a year, which is a lot of money for
So over
coffee.
$2,000
a year
for coffee.
for these specialty drinks. Yeah,
I drink 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day, and I don't spend that. I don't spend $2,000.
for your Keurigs.
Yeah, so I get my auto shipment came in yesterday from Keurig. I get a case of coffee like
Yeah.
every month and a half. What has increased my spending is my first cup of coffee every morning now is from my Nespresso machine that Smile Mark
well,
got me.
those are a little
for my
fancier,
wedding.
yeah.
I just love it. And then I'll have the Nespresso at home, drink it while I come to work, and then here banging out the
We
Keurigs.
get free coffee here, though. We've got the
Yeah, but
fancy coffee machine.
I,
I
like
don't
what
drink
I
coffee,
like.
so
I
I
had
don't know.
one from that machine. It
wasn't great?
Wasn't my cup of tea. Get it?
Get it.
Yeah. $2,000 on
At the low end. Yeah.
on the low end.
Mhm.
Yeah. When we were in Vegas, there was a Starbucks. We were staying in the Palazzo Venetian, and there was like 300 people in line every morning to get down there. But Maya found the hack. She ordered on the app, and you can go down and just pick it up so you don't have to wait online. But like a normal, I just get a grande. If I go to Starbucks, grande black coffee, it's usually like $2.10, $2.30 or something like that. At the casino, it was $5.
Ooh.
That seems right for Vegas.
$5.
Right? And people do that every day. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine that every
No,
single
well, that's
day?
what I'm saying. Like, I just spend $2 there, but you get the frou-frou drinks.
Vinny's drink.
Yeah, that's like $6-7.
Is there?
Yeah.
6, 7.
He only got it because he didn't pay for it.
Unintentional. Who paid
Heard.
for it?
Shout out to
I paid
Deborah.
for him, yeah.
Deborah picked it up. All right. When we come back, we're going to go back live.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon
Oh, things
my
getting
rights
heated right
under
now
the
at the Fauci hearing. In fact, can we go live real quick, Vin? He's getting
Using
shouted out.
federal email to pressure the agency's own ethics people so that you could get money, so that you could get rich. And it violated the law, didn't it, Dr. Fauci?
Oh, say it.
Didn't it?
Say it.
It violated the law, didn't it?
Say it.
It is a question. You can answer. Go ahead.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights.
What
under the
I
Fifth
find
Amendment.
funny about that is that's probably like the 40th time he said that. He's still reading it off the paper. Like
He needs to make sure it's
yeah,
exact,
I guess,
right?
like,
Yeah.
you'd think he'd have it memorized.
You
by
can't
now.
just say, I plead the fifth. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't count. It's got to be this way.
You got to say.
I like that dude's voice. It's very animated.
He was.
He sounds like a car commercial.
He was getting fired up. All right. So anyway, we're gonna go back and check that. Right now, she's often fired up. We are so lucky to have her, the the great aunt of the WSB
Okay.
Care-A-Thon. Wildly successful again, Ashley Frafka.
$2.3 million. Atlanta is the best city in the country.
All
Wouldn't you say?
because of you, girl. All because of
well,
you.
and you guys too. We're excited to play out the incentives as well. If you donated to get together with a WSB host, that info coming soon. Right now, a look at traffic though. There's busy traffic through the interchange on the west side as you're traveling 285 south trying to ramp onto I-20 westbound. No lanes blocked, just construction crews there, and still slow go of it through Roswell on 400 south getting past Holcomb Bridge, and 85 south a little crowded out of Duluth trying to get past Pleasant Hill. Traffic brought to you by Mattress Firm. Sleep falling short? Visit Mattress Firm today. Their sleep experts will find you the right bed at an unbeatable price during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy. Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You've done it for 26 years.
$2,306,264.
That's awesome.
Thank you for giving to the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorder Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
You can still donate at WSBradio.com.
The WSB Care-A-Thon's mission will continue year-round.
Thank you for your support of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Your sky full of stars.
Most attorneys take every type of case, but if someone causes you to lay your bike down, you need a true motorcycle accident specialist. Hey, it's Eric Von Hassler for Steel Horse Law. They only fight for injured motorcycle riders. One name, one specialty, 100% commitment to bikers from motorcycle attorneys that ride. You can trust them on the road and in the courtroom. Get your free case evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
Hi, this is Mike Colleen, president of Lens, a full-service marketing agency and strategic consulting firm. Since our very first client more than 30 years ago, we've lived and breathed healthcare marketing for hospitals, health systems, and large physician practices. We understand the unique needs, constraints, opportunities, and challenges you face, and we specialize in strengthening the trust your patients place in you. To grow your healthcare business with Lens, visit us at lensmarketing.com. That's LENZ marketing.com.
Attention Georgia homeowners, can I tell you something funny? Most of our customers knew they needed new windows long before they actually replaced them. Hey, it's Ray, founder of Window Comfort. What many homeowners don't realize is that window prices continue to rise every year. And by waiting just a little bit longer, many homeowners end up paying thousands more than they needed to. That's why we're doing something different. We're letting you start with as little as 5 windows, and we're going to freeze the cost of the rest 3 years, no obligation. You avoid all inflation, there's no pressure. And to celebrate America's 250th anniversary, we're doing buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free, buy 5, get 5 free, no limitations. You have nothing to lose and everything to save, so go to windowcomfort.com and get your free, no obligation estimate today.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
This is Scott Slade, and if your air conditioning is having trouble keeping you comfortable this summer, I have good news. Ragsdale Heating and Air is here to keep you and your family cool and save you money. Right now, you can get up to $1,700 off if you carry your home comfort system, and that'll include Ragsdale's own exclusive 15-year parts and labor warranty. Don't forget Ragsdale is your go-to team for plumbing, electrical, and insulation, too. Schedule your visit online at ragsdaleair.com or call them. With over 13,000 5-star reviews, Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
This kitchen is insane. New counters, new floors. Who did this?
My house.
Your house did your kitchen?
Yep. I used a HomeTap home equity investment to get cash from the equity I already had, with no monthly payments or impact on my mortgage rate.
So your home paid for itself. That's genius.
Huh. I guess I am a genius.
All right, easy there.
HomeTap lets you turn your home equity into cash with no monthly payments. It's your home. Tap into it. See how much you could get at HomeTap.com.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 25% upfront bonus? And are they promising you up to 9% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They aren't. That's up to $25,000 upfront or up to $9,000 per year on $100,000, guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states has Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
I, Charles Philip Arthur George.
I, Diana Francis.
Take thee, Diana Francis.
Take thee, Philip Charles Arthur George.
To my wedded wife.
To my wedded husband.
On this date in 1981, Prince Charles, Lady Di got married at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. I remember where I was. My mom was so pumped to watch that. We watched it live. We were on vacation in Maine, and it was early in the morning here because of the time difference. And, yeah, my mom was like, oh, my God, the prince. Speaking of marriages, some breaking news just popped from TMZ. Sorry, Vin. Another one off the market. Marjorie Taylor Greene got married last night in Las Vegas. She hitched to her fiance Brian Glenn in Sin City.
Surprised Shelley wasn't there.
Shelley might have been there. Was he live yesterday? So congratulations. I didn't.
Yeah,
pick
congratulations.
Her. Yeah, I didn't picture her as a Vegas wedding kind of gal.
Maybe she just wanted to get it over with.
More breaking news. I don't know if he's married or not, but we're watching this Fauci hearing. Democratic Senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman there. Fetterman's wearing a freaking suit and tie.
He's a hoodie guy, Vinny.
I have never seen him in a suit. What does that mean, Deborah?
That'd be like Vinny coming in a suit tomorrow.
Well, I could see it from Vinny.
No, Vinny wears a hoodie every day.
Yeah, but he's drip. Fetterman in a suit and tie. Has he got a funeral to go to after? I've never seen that dude dressed up. We'll get back to the Fauci hearing. When we come back, though, political analyst Stephen Lawson live in studio. Straight ahead on the Mark Arum Show. Suit and tie, Fetterman.
Hi, I'm Chuck Gemmel, Service Manager of Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. I make sure you get complete transparency every time you get your Lexus service at Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Come and visit us today and see for yourself, or give us a call at 800-NEW-LEXUS.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, financial study after financial study keeps showing us a troubling trend. Many Americans believe they could work and work and work with no end in sight and still not have enough saved to retire comfortably. And that's the key word here. So how do we retire comfortably?
One of the things I think everybody listening should focus on is pick a retirement date. If you're in a traditional job and it's not your passion and you don't own the company, pick a retirement date. Do you want to retire at 62? Do you want to retire at 65? Pick that date, meet with us, and let's go get it. And we will map it out, but give us a target to hit. My expectation is if you came in and we broke all of that down and created a financial plan around it, my inclination is that you go back to work with a totally different attitude.
Yeah.
Because you will have a target to shoot for. Now, for those of you that do not have $1 million portfolio, it's okay. Your number is your number. We've got to make it work for you. It's all about income and the safety of that income and the taxation of that income on you. So do not discount what you've built and what you have saved, but begin the process, especially if you fit this category where you feel like, I may have to work, I guess, forever, because there is no retirement date. Yeah. That's a lot of burden to carry. I think, and I would hope, we can lift some of that burden for you.
It all starts with the Portfolio X-Ray, and that report is complimentary. Get started with the Hoffman Financial Group today. Call 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858 and online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
These pop-up afternoon thunderstorms, no joke, friends. 1 minute it's sunny, the next you're grabbing buckets for a roof leak. Ugh. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. That's why homeowners like me call Dr. Roof. Need a quick repair? A whole new roof? Dr. Roof brings trusted service, a price match guarantee, and up to a 50-year workmanship warranty, the only one in town. And don't forget to visit drroof.com for coupons. Dr. Roof, ready before the storm hits.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. Happening right now, tensions are high. It's at a Senate hearing where Dr. Anthony Fauci is testifying. The hearing chaired by Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, who claims COVID-19 came from a lab in Wuhan, China, that he says Fauci has ties to.
You were not a detached observer. You had an institutional interest in the public believing that federally funded research had nothing to do with the pandemic. It was a conflict of interest from the very beginning.
And Fauci invoking the fifth at the hearing and has not answered one question yet. The State Department, by the way, is planning to reinstate funding for a global vaccine program. The Trump administration previously paused that program over concerns about vaccine safety. The program has helped vaccinate more than 1 billion children in the world's poorest countries. Your weather for today, drier air moving in, so less humid. Mostly sunny today and a high of 90, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in about 2 minutes. Well, this was scary. The pilot of a Delta flight inbound from Pittsburgh had to request a go-around after another plane was still on the approach runway. But then had to put the aircraft too close. That put the aircraft too close to a Delta flight that was taking off.
Delta 2472. Delta 1568, turn left. Can you turn left?
We're in the left turn now, Delta 1568.
Okay, Delta 1568, thank you. Turn left. Delta 2472, turn right now, heading 090.
The audio there from liveatc.net indicating that the planes were less than 2,000 feet apart. No one was injured. The FAA is now investigating that incident. Update on the conflict in the Middle East. U.S. forces in the region on high alert today after a surprise attack by Iran, breaking a days-long pause in the fighting. Rachel Scott is following from the White House.
This goes against everything the president has been saying for days. He has insisted that Iran badly wants to make a deal. Sources tell me he even put off a major escalation in this conflict to give way for diplomacy. But Iran is clearly not interested in that, launching another attempted attack overnight.
Be sure and stay with us for continuing live team coverage of the conflict in the Middle East right here on 95.5 WSB and on the WSB radio app. Well, the race to fill Georgia's 13th congressional district is going into overtime.
Voters in U.S. Congressional District 13 will be heading back to the polls again next month as no candidate running in the race to fill the seat left vacant after Congressman David Scott's death in April got more than 50% of the vote on Tuesday. His daughter, Marcy Scott, is running and received 46.7% coming in on top. She'll be facing Democrat Everton Blair, who received 36.7% of the vote in the runoff election, which is set for August 25th. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
As we take a look at the markets, the Dow is down 781 at 51,966. So the Dow's down almost 1.5%. NASDAQ is down almost a full percent. The S&P is also in the red, down more than 0.5%. Let's get a check of the roads. For that, we turn now to Ashley Frasca in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Still a little slow in both directions through the heart of the city on the connector, and DOT reporting one lane blocked on the 75-85 southbound exit to I-20, so you'll see a few brake lights there, and things getting crowded on the west side perimeter in the work zone as well, traveling 285 south, beginning around Hollowell Parkway, trying to ramp onto I-20, and now a new crash headed through Norcross, 85 northbound at Jimmy Carter Boulevard. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy skies for this afternoon, high 93. Humidity levels decreasing.
We have 80 degrees in Conyers, 80 degrees in Marietta, and it's 82 in Ackworth. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens, 95.5 WSB.
You can count on it.
Can try and plan for it.
But sometimes it gets the best of you.
Multiple left lanes blocked, quickly impacting you as you leave the airport.
When it stops you from getting where you need to be.
Atlanta's most trusted traffic team gets you there.
Now we've got our second crash of the morning on I-85.
The most up-to-date traffic reports from Atlanta's most trusted traffic team.
Only a right lane open.
Every time you listen. Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
Still to come, we'll monitor the ongoing Fauci hearing, but coming up next, live in studio, political analyst Stephen Lawson. 2 minutes away on The Mark Arum Show.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
Hurt in a crash? Call the attorneys at Sweet James, 800-9-million, and sweetjames.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
Tonight, and as long as I got my suit and tie, I'ma leave it all on the floor.
Good job, Vinny Drip. 10:37, suit and tie. Yeah, that's the breaking. To me, that's the bigger breaking news out of the Fauci hearing. Not that Dr. Anthony Fauci has pled the fifth 47 times and counting, but John Fetterman is wearing a freaking suit and tie. This is the first time in his political career, Deborah, that Fauci's dressed better than I am right now. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show at 10:37. Coming up in 30 minutes, we are going to go in depth on the Fauci hearing. Ashley Fields from News Nation is going to join us live 11:35. Going to talk tech with Kim Commando. But right now, he's the man. He's wearing a not a tie, but a sport jacket, looking very dapper. Political analyst Stephen Lawson. Welcome back, brother. We missed you.
It's good to be here.
We missed your musk, your dress, your scent.
You know,
everything.
as we get closer to November, I may put the tie on. It may get a little more serious.
Really? All right. Let me know so I can dress up accordingly. A lot of big political news. Let's start here in Georgia. Rick Jackson campaign. We knew they were going to spend some money. We didn't know how much, but now we have an indication.
Yeah, Rick Jackson announced the other day that he's putting down an $87 million ad buy. Mark, your listeners will remember, obviously in the primary, spent upwards of $100 million really getting his message out, introducing himself to voters. Again, this is somebody that was virtually an unknown in Georgia politics and across the state going back to February, but really spent heavily on the airwaves, on the radio, on digital, to really get his message out. And now as he pivots towards the general election, he's putting down a significant $87 million ad buy. I think a couple things what you're going to see from Rick Jackson in general election. I think you're going to go back to him telling his story about going from Techwood in the foster care system, growing up into becoming a billionaire and creating
self-made.
Like rags to riches story.
Yeah, and which I was surprised that he didn't push that bigger in the primary. Instead we had the Mongolian. I understand you got to go to the extremes in the primary, but I'm like, I don't think you need that. Just sell your story. You've got a great story, rags to riches, American dream, all of that. $87 million ad buy, all on the Mark Arum Show. Do we know, or is that?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah,
sprinkled?
Even if it's a percentage, that's good, right? That's got to be pretty good.
As someone in the media, I love that he's going to spend that much in the media. Thank you, but Rick, I hope you're not listening, but he doesn't need to spend a dime. All that dude needs to do is go to a black-owned business, and then he'll get $87 million in free advertising. It's crazy what's been going on with Rick Jackson, the Toast at Lennox story, and then he went to somewhere on Bankhead High. Like, he just can take over the political news cycle going to a black-owned business.
He is. And I think you've seen him continue to reach out to minority, to black-owned businesses following his visit to Toast. And I think that's the exact right thing. I think he is doubling down on expanding the tent, growing the party, understanding that this is a general election campaign, and he's got to reach every Georgian. I think that's what you're seeing. And he should. He's meeting people where they are at and talking to them in real ways because he understands the business world. He, as you mentioned, rags to riches, pulled himself up and created a business, and he knows what it's like to sign the front and back of a paycheck. And I think he's going to share that message, not just with black-owned businesses, but businesses across the state.
Sources tell me that part of that $87 million ad buy are going to be attacking Keisha Lance Bottoms' record as Atlanta mayor. We knew that was coming, right? Which I thought her record of Atlanta's mayor would have made the Democratic primary tighter, but it wasn't. She ran away with it. But the Keisha Lance Bottoms campaign knows that these ads are coming. They've had months to prep. What is going to be the response from the Bottoms campaign to what, her one term here as the mayor of Atlanta?
Yeah, really, really interesting question. I think you're boiling down to what will be a key central thesis of this campaign. What positive messages is Keisha Lance Bottoms pushing to push back on that time and that tenure as mayor? And how does she answer some of these questions? Why she left the job after one term, then joined the Biden administration? I think you've seen her lean heavily into healthcare, into expanding Medicaid. I expect that to be a central theme. That was a central theme of Stacey Abrams' campaign. It didn't get Abrams across the finish line, and so there's some risk reward there on leaning so heavily into healthcare. But it's going to be particularly on the economy. What is her message around property taxes, around income taxes, around affordability issues that we know are central to voters' minds? What's she going to say on those issues? I think that's going to be a really interesting thing to watch.
And there's going to be a high wire act to walk for both Jackson and Bottoms when it comes to the economy, because nationally Democrats are like affordability. I mean, we heard, I think it was the minority leader in the House giving a speech the other day, and he said the word affordability like 23 times in 3 minutes. Like that is the Democratic talking point. Now here in Georgia, yes, things are more expensive. Yes, affordability is an issue, but Georgia, I don't want to say has been immune to these economic times, but we're doing better than most states. So how does Keisha Lance Bottoms do that? And how does Rick Jackson tie himself to President Trump, saying he's going to be Trump's favorite governor, also knowing that Governor Kemp has, steered a pretty steady ship here? It's going to be weird for them to navigate this affordability and the economy issue.
Totally agree. And there's two separate things going on. One, you mentioned, Mark, I think voters in Georgia understand that even though the national climate is not great, things are more expensive from a federal perspective. In Georgia, Republicans have done a very good job leading this state at the state level, making some of those economic decisions. So the question then becomes, to your point, how does Keisha Lance Bottoms navigate that without attacking and alienating some soft, moderate swing voters that she may need? And then for Rick Jackson, what is he able to say and put forward? He's talked at length about slashing property taxes, cutting the state income tax in half. Obviously, Republicans have gradually reduced that over the last few years. But I think on this affordability issue, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, voters are going to be looking very carefully. What solutions are you actually bringing? It's very easy to say the word affordability, but what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
That is where the rubber is going to meet the roads, and that's where I think voters are going to be attracted to these candidates on.
Political analyst Stephen Lawson joining us live in studio. There's a new CNN poll, not on the state of Georgia races, but President Trump's second term, and I mean it's shockingly bad. He is underwater in every category, even with his most staunch supporters. It's not a good look for him. Again, he's not running for your election, but we got these big midterms, and again, Rick Jackson saying, "I'm going to be President Trump's favorite governor." does there come a point where Jackson or Collins might, kind of, you wanted that Trump endorsement, but you kind of like maybe push yourself back a little bit because the president's numbers are tanking? Will we see any separation in the campaign?
I think there's potential. I think what you're going to see, I think for either of those candidates to be successful, whether it's Mike Collins or Rick Jackson, I think it goes back to what we just talked about talking about real solutions, what their vision for the state is. I think that's the safest lane for them to swim in. I think that's where the voters are. That's what they want to hear. And look, at the end of the day, Mark, we've talked about on this show for a number of months. I said the Iran war. I said if there wasn't an off-ramp or an end goal with that, it was going to get very politically messy very quickly. That's exactly what's happened. I think you are seeing in President Trump's approval ratings, I think, an indication of where voters feel that war is gone. I think that there's not really an end in sight. It is dragged on. And as a result, without any clear goal or win in mind, people are seeing gas prices continue to go up and it continue to be a problem. And I think for the administration, they have got to find an off-ramp for that. Or it could be very politically challenging.
And I thought, we had a 4-day kind of pause in activity and oil prices were dropping. The markets were up. I'm like, oh, all right. And President Trump said, hey, maybe we can negotiate. And then, bam, Iran starts some ish again yesterday. And now markets are down and oil's up. And it's a, quote, a long time till November, and things can change quickly in the war. But the way it stands now, you're right, that is certainly going to be an issue. Local polls, do we have anything, whether it's the Senate race or the governor's race, anything we can digest?
Yeah, we've had a couple of public polls, most recently an AARP poll the other week that showed a little separation, not a little, a good bit of separation between Jon Ossoff and Mike Collins. I think Jon Ossoff had an 8 or 9 point lead in that race. And then in the governor's race, very tight margin of error, toss-up race between Keisha Lance Bottoms and Rick Jackson. I think a couple things what you're seeing. That is a byproduct of the political environment that we are living in right now. It heavily favors Democrats. It is very challenging for Republicans, most notably because, again, of President Trump's approval ratings really driving swinging independent voters away from Republicans and towards the Democrats. I think there's a couple of silver linings. One, if you're Rick Jackson, you see in that poll, look, you've got a lot of time and a lot of money to spend to tell your message in a general election. If you're Mike Collins, his net image, favorable, unfavorable, was 31 and 30. So a lot of people still don't know who Mike Collins is. But if you are Jon Ossoff in particular, you feel like you're in a pretty good position and you've got the wind at your back, and Keisha Lance Bottoms certainly has a path to win given this environment.
I've seen some of the attack ads against Ossoff, and not necessarily from the Collins campaign, but national stuff and a lot of stuff posted online, trying to corner him into that Mondami corner of the Democratic Party. And I don't know if that's going to land or not, calling him a communist and a socialist when if you look at the Democratic Party as a whole, he's certainly more to the center than AOC, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. Is that going to work for Collins or anyone that wants to take down the Ossoff seat?
It's going to be an interesting dynamic to watch play out. Obviously, going back to 2020, there were a few positions that Jon Ossoff took that were left of center when we talk about Puerto Rico's statehood, eliminating cash bail. Some of these things he's been on record on. I think over his course of the Senate, he's sort of moderated that.
Yeah.
But with this chatter about him potentially looking at running for president, that's where I think it could get complicated because he is probably not in a position where he's going to disavow this movement, given that there's a strong core of the party national supporting that.
Depends what his ambitions are. I just realized, Deborah, why Stephen Lawson's wearing a blazer. You obviously, Stephen, were in Vegas for Marjorie Taylor Greene's wedding last night. Took the red eye just to get back on the show. How are the nuptials, man? How did it go?
Vinny, how did he figure this out? I mean, I thought my secret was safe here.
Was it a good wedding? Did you have fun?
Couldn't tell you.
Right, you didn't go?
That Marjorie Taylor Greene's business, that's her business.
All right. Congratulations to Miss Green on her Vegas nuptials of all things. 1040, great stuff as always. Dentons.com, for all things Stephen Lawson. Go Braves.
Go Braves.
10:49. Let's go back live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center and the incomparable Ashley Frasca.
Thank you, Mark. We've got eyes on the trouble causing some unusual brake lights through Norcross. This is a crash on 85 northbound right at the exit to Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Looks like a white car is kind of askew in the two left lanes. So now you're already on the brakes leaving I-285 headed up that way. And maybe new trouble in the work zone. It's getting a little more crowded over from Riverside Parkway as you travel I-20 East, trying to ramp into that work zone onto I-285 north or south. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Tough questions.
What are the rules around a hot air balloon?
Intriguing
If
insights.
things didn't happen the way in my brain they were supposed to happen within the time period that my brain told me they were supposed to happen.
And a unique perspective.
You're getting tea. Where do you want it to go?
Eric Von Hassler, today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Attention Georgia homeowners, this may be the best window offer we've ever made. Hey, it's Ray, founder of Window Comfort, and if you've had one of those big national window companies in your home, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The 2-hour presentation, the high-pressure sales pitch, and a price so high you start wondering if they're replacing the whole house instead. That's why I started Window Comfort. We buy factory direct with an exclusive window, no brand tax, no bloated marketing budgets, just high-quality windows at a price that actually makes sense. And to celebrate America's 250th anniversary, we're doing buy 2 windows, get 2 free, buy 4, get 4 free, buy 5, get 5 free, no limitations, and we're adding free installation. And no payments for 12 months for qualified homeowners. You have nothing to lose and everything to save. So go to windowcomfort.com and get your free, no-pressure estimate today.
The best Zero-Res deal is back. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $109 plus a free hallway. Last time, our schedule filled up fast. Book your cleaning today at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero-Res, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
Hey friends, it's Mark Arum here. Do you want peace of mind when it comes to your home's electrical system? That's kind of a big deal. I want you to do what I did and schedule an appointment with Reliable, a company you can trust. An amazing limited time offer. Keep your home safe with a 79-point electrical safety inspection that identifies loose wires, worn breakers, corrosion in your panel, or outdated smoke alarms. Only $49 for real peace of mind. Book an appointment online at reliableair.com or call or text 770-594-9969.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, Atlanta, 191 Peachtree, Atlanta, Georgia. Thou law. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Most home sellers get one offer. It's somewhere between lowball and not good enough. Orchard changes that. Hey, it's Eric Von Hassler. With Orchard's new Orchard offers, you don't just get one offer, you get multiple cash offers from serious investors, all competing for your home. Here's how it works. You work with an Orchard agent who submits your home to their exclusive network of hundreds of local cash buyers. They come to you with offers, you review them all, and pick the best one on your terms. So you don't have to settle on one offer. You see every offer side by side. That's how you know you're getting top dollar. Orchard offers means no repairs, no showings, no drawn-out process. Before you accept any offer, see them all first. Get a free home valuation and see your offers today with Orchard Offers. Go to orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Looking for something this weekend? Head to Lakewood 400 Market, where shopping feels like an adventure. Shop over 500 booths packed with home decor, fashion, art, collectibles, and one-of-a-kind finds. Grab a bite, bring a dog, make a day of it. Lakewood 400 Market. Discover something you didn't know you were looking for.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
10:54 on the Mark Arum Show. Great stuff, as always, by political analyst Stephen Lawson. Big story we're following now. Anthony Fauci invoking the Fifth Amendment during this hearing on the COVID pandemic response. Things sound like they're getting fiery again. Let's listen live.
Attorney General to do this. We did this in 2023. That conclusion was the lockdown, mask, and social distancing advice ministered by federal agencies and implemented by certain local, state, and federal agencies was not based on the best available scientific data. In fact, many recommendations and their accompanying mandates departed significantly from available research. Again, people from all walks of life, all political persuasions, that is what they found. And yet, during that time, while you were giving those statements, knowing there was no scientific basis for it, and we know now you knew it because we have your diary entries, you called the governor that I worked with to fight to keep Washington and D.C. out of our state so that we could indeed respect the rights of our citizens. You called our governor, Governor DeSantis, and I'm going to quote this so I get it right out of your journals, a total jerk.
That's Republican Senator Ashley Moody from Florida, not pulling any punches. Fauci, I know you can't see it, but he just took his glasses off. He's sitting there kind of like slumped back in his seat. His eyes are actually kind of half closed now. He's just playing prevent defense at this point. Pleading the fifth to every question. But going back to the politics of it, because there's been some fiery cuts already, Deborah, I imagine a lot of folks that are running for re-election on both sides of the aisle might be taking some of the clips from today's hearing and putting them into campaign ads as we head up to the November midterms. But so we're going to go back after news, weather, and traffic. We're going to go back to D.C. and check in with Ashley Fields from News Nation. She is monitoring the Fauci hearings. And we're also going to go to the State Department. Shannon Kingston from ABC continuously updating the Iran war. Earlier in the show, we went live to the White House. We went to Jerusalem. What the State Department has to say about the re-escalation of the war in Iran, updating the markets. And don't forget, in case you're just joining us, Kevin Warsh, the new Fed chair, going to announce what the plans are for interest rates at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. We'll find out what the Fed's going to do with interest rates. You'll hear that announcement live here on 95.5 WSB. Social media is active at Mark Arum, MarkArum. News, weather, and traffic in 3. Then back live to the nation's capital. Next on the Mark Arum Show.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, and a state attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a 7-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
Georgia Power is here for you with programs, tools, and incentives that lower your bill. But we also have a few ways you can save right now. Unplug devices like TVs when they're not being used, or use a power strip you can switch off. Make sure you're only using the lights you need. Change out your HVAC filter and make sure your vents are clear. Set your thermostat at 78 for max efficiency. But every degree closer helps. Because everything we save on energy can be better spent being there for the people we care about. Visit georgiapower.com for more energy-saving tips.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
If you've been thinking about selling your home this year, now is the time. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you receive a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, BR, said, Mark Spain Real Estate sold my home within 30 days. I definitely recommend them to my friends and family. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. and find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. Some frightening moments late Monday as Delta flights at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport came dangerously close to each other.
The pilot of a Delta flight inbound from Pittsburgh had to request a go-around after another aircraft was still on the approach runway. But that didn't put the aircraft too close to a Delta flight that was taking off.
Delta 1568, turn left. Can you turn left?
We're in the left turn now, Delta 1568.
Okay, Delta 1568, thank you. Turn left. Delta 2472, turn right now, heading 090.
Audio from liveatc.net indicates the planes were less than 2,000 feet apart at one point. No one was injured. The FAA is now investigating the incident. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, your weather for today, drier air, less humid, and sunny. Afternoon highs around 90, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a matter of minutes. Dr. Anthony Fauci has invoked the Fifth Amendment at a hearing before a GOP-led Senate panel on the COVID pandemic. He has taken the Fifth about 70-plus times already. This comes days after Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul released Fauci's journal during the pandemic, which Republicans say shows the doctor deliberately downplayed the theory that the COVID-19 virus originated in China's Wuhan lab.
In January of 2020, weeks before the world shut down, Fauci wrote, "Now we know the market was not the source. It was the amplifier." Having said that, somewhere the virus jumped from animals to human. In the past, Fauci has said he was open to the lab leak theory.
Monica Alba reporting that Fauci calls Paul unhinged and said that he was pleading the Fifth to avoid Republicans from possibly using his testimony to prosecute him for perjury. In his opening statement before the Senate Homeland Security Committee, Fauci said that Paul has an obvious obsession with calling for prosecution. Former President Joe Biden said that he preemptively pardoned Anthony Fauci because of possible, quote, unjustified and politically motivated prosecutions by the incoming administration. Funeral services for Senator Lindsey Graham are being held in his home state of South Carolina today. A procession will carry his remains from the South Carolina State House to a church in Columbia. The service at the church will start at noon. Graham was honored yesterday with a service at the U.S. Capitol. The owners of more than 560,000 Ford Broncos and Raptors are being recalled today because of a safety concern due to a possible engine compartment fire. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration saying that the wiring in the 2021 through 2026 models may short circuit. And if that happens, you might get a dashboard alert, see some smoke coming out of the vents, and then possibly some flames appearing on the passenger side of the engine compartment. Ford says only about 1% of the recalled vehicles are impacted, and they will install new covers on the wiring at no charge to drivers. A new call from doctors concerning skin cancer and tanning beds. Professor Spencer Dunaway with the Department of Dermatology at Ohio State University says that there's a trend of the younger generation ignoring or not even being aware of the risk of tanning and long-term UV radiation. He says that there's clear evidence that tanning at an early age will dramatically increase the risk of skin cancer, premature aging, and development of sunspots. He says that tanning beds cause cancer, but evidence shows those who use them as teenagers are much more likely to become lifelong tanners. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 791 at 51,956. So the Dow's down 1.5%. Nasdaq's down almost a full percent. So is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Travel advisory continues through into Norcross, I should say. Crash 85 northbound Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. Two left lanes are blocked. You're stacked up back to I-285 and now slowing the 285 ramps to 85 north. You can use Buford Highway as an alternate. Looking for trouble in Marietta, 75 northbound at South Marietta Parkway. You're starting to see those delays fill in back toward Delk Road. And 400 southbound still on and off the brakes out of Alpharetta towards Sandy Springs from Mansell Road down to Northridge Road, exit number 6. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, drier air filtering in, so lower humidity for the ride home this evening. Today's high is 93, lows tonight in the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow and Friday, sunshine with highs in the low 90s.
We have 81 degrees in Kennesaw. It's 82 in Decatur and College Park. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I run this town to be near you.
11:04 on an absurdly busy news day, Wednesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Dr. Fauci invoking the fifth. We'll go live to D.C. in just a minute to get the latest on the Fauci hearing. Very, very heated hearing. I believe they just broke for lunch or so, an early lunch, a brunch. I don't know, but we're going to go and check in with News Nation reporter Ashley Fields in just a moment. Right now, though, let's go to D.C. Joining us from the State Department from ABC News, it's Shannon Kingston. Shannon, good morning. A couple of big topics here I want to talk about. The re-escalation of the conflict in Iran last night and this proposal that Oman had on the table concerning the Strait of Hormuz. Let's start with this Omani proposal.
That's right. So these negotiations have been pretty much entirely focused on managing the Strait of Hormuz. So Oman has come out with this pretty similar proposal to something they floated a couple weeks ago that seemed like it had some promise before this escalation spiral started up again. But basically what they are saying, suggesting here, is that voluntary fees could be charged in the Strait to kind of pay for different services that Iran might offer. Now, this proposal has some signs that it could gain support from different factions of the Iranian regime, but U.S. officials are still very hesitant because that term voluntary could quickly be erased by Iran if this is put into practice. And even though President Trump has said multiple times that Iran wants to make a deal, we have seen indications, including in just the past few hours, that is not really the case.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would push back on that. I would imagine the tanker owners, they just want their business back, and they might be willing to pay a voluntary fee. But I can imagine other Gulf states saying, "Well, what are you, crazy? you can't pay Iran for removal of the strait when it was free before February 28th."
That's right. And there are some signs that the Gulf states are maybe a little more willing to accept Oman's proposal now than they were a couple of weeks ago. But yes, that is something that's a point of contention. But there's a chokehold in the strait, and other waterways are becoming more and more dangerous in the Middle East more broadly. So there's an appetite for a comprehensive solution.
So that proposal, Shannon, came before the re-escalation of military activity in the region. Is that threatening to take that off the table? And what do we know about what happened the latest round of military strikes?
Absolutely. Well, U.S. Central Command said last evening that there was what they're calling a surprise attack by Iranian forces on U.S. military targets in Jordan. The U.S. says that they were able to fend off that attack. Jordanian armed forces shot down at least 5 different missiles. So this was something that came, at least from the U.S. perspective, out of the blue. And at the same time, we did see the U.S. and Saudi Arabia carry out airstrikes on Iranian proxy forces in Iraq. So clearly, there's still a lot of warfare going on. It's very likely that we'll see additional retaliation by the U.S. for that attack overnight by Iran on U.S. military forces in the region. So we haven't seen the end of the fighting here, and it does speak to the divisions within the Iranian regime here, that even if there are a lot of Iranian officials who do want to make a deal with the U.S., even if the majority of the regime wants to make a deal with the U.S., as long as you have some hardliners who are willing and able to pull the trigger on attacks like what we saw in recent hours, that is always going to override diplomacy.
Yeah, certainly a lot of fractures there in the leadership in Iran. Final quick question for you, Shannon. Anything we're watching for today at the State Department?
Right now, we are watching for another national security meeting that we expect could happen at the White House. There's been some plans, some discussions about that, but nothing fully formalized yet. So we are keeping in touch with our sources there. But we do know that the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is scheduled to be at the White House meeting with the president, with other key players here for most of the day.
We will monitor your coverage throughout the day. Shannon Kingston at ABC News. Shannon, as always, appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mark.
I don't know where that Omani proposal, if it's going to get any steam. I can't imagine people are going to want to pay tolls on a strait that was toll-free on February 27th. The market's not happy with the escalation, the re-escalation of the Iran war. The Dow is now down 812 points. That's 1.5%. The Dow's it's up. It's still over 51,000, just under 52,000. So 800 points is a big drop. It's only 1.5%. NASDAQ's down 217. Impacting us the most is the oil prices, which are now up today, Deborah, 7.71%, $6 a barrel. The West Texas crude is at 85.37. We need AI to boom up the stock market again. Oh, speaking of AI, this is crazy. Is this a college? Is this a high school?
It's a university.
A university. Mm-hmm. A university professor caught 32 out of 35 of his students cheating using artificial intelligence. That's shocking.
Yeah, not really when you think about who cheats in school, but the fact that they were caught is kind of shocking, I guess. So this is Alcorn State University. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, I think it's Tennessee.
Okay, Alcorn State University.
Alcorn. No, how do you pronounce it?
Alcorn?
It's not Alcorn. It's
my Midwestern says Alcorn.
Yeah,
I think it's an HBCU.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alcorn. I don't know.
Alcorn.
I'll let
Alcorn.
Email Deborah if she's mispronouncing
I don't
it.
know. Yeah,
I always
it looks like
mispronounce
Alcorn to me.
Okay.
So anyway, Alcorn State University, a professor decided to test his students because he had a feeling a lot of them were using AI when they would turn in papers. Like they would have conversations completely different than the way they would write. So he put up this test for them to do a paper, and it gives them make sure it includes this, and this. But in there, he also did what they call like a white line test. It's when you change the font color in your lines to white, so it doesn't look like it. You know how you're used to seeing black type on a white piece? Yeah. So what you'll do is you'll change it to white ink, basically. So if you do a copy paste and put that into AI, the kids can't see that white line, but AI reads it because it reads text. Oh. So he deliberately put that in there with the saying use a nonsensical instruction talking about Madagascar. But the class itself was not about Madagascar. And so the teacher, and the thing is like, I'm not even upset that they did that. They didn't even proofread it. Like they all just let it go through AI and turned it in.
That's just dumb. Like if you're going to use AI, use it, but then go through AI's work. And you'd be like, "Why? This is a paper on the produce industry. Why is there something about Madagascar?"
Yep.
32 out of 35.
Yep.
I would not have used AI.
I mean, even if you do, don't you just you go and read, like I use AI to do images, right? And then I go in and kind of tweak them even more in Photoshop. You just kind of have to use it the right way.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, you would just buy term papers from
someone
person. Else.
Right.
Like in my fraternity, a bunch of dummies in my fraternity, by the way. Not everyone, but a lot of them. And they would have term papers from like the seniors would have term papers from their freshman year.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd get it, but you couldn't, you'd have to retype it yourself and you just make changes. And
yeah, you update stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, even if you run it through like a grammar check, but you gotta still proofread it.
Yeah. 32 out of 35. Vinny, was the AI thing when you were in college? And if so, did you...
No, we wasn't doing that.
You weren't doing that? All right.
No.
You were stealing produce, though, or... Yeah. At least you're not dumpster diving.
I plead the fifth.
Like, oh, hey, Fauci, good job. Speaking of Dr. Fauci, continue our team coverage of the Fauci hearing, the contentious at times Fauci hearing. Joining us live from News Nation, it's Ashley Fields. Ashley, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
To me, the biggest breaking news I found out of this testimony was Senator John Fetterman in a suit and tie. Do we know, why was he dressed up? Did we get an explanation on that?
Well, apparently it's a new thing. He was in a suit at Senator Graham's memorial yesterday, and he's appeared in other times in this suit, more formal presentation for more formal events, but not exactly sure why he's dressed like this in the Fauci hearing.
Yeah, that was shy. All right, all kidding aside, I'm going to play some audio. Senator Rand Paul heading the hearing and Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Have you refused this pardon, or do you have any reason to believe this full and unconditional pardon, this grant of immunity, would somehow require you to plead the Fifth Amendment?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
I don't know if you were keeping track, Ashley, how many times Dr. Fauci pled the Fifth, but do we know why he is pleading the Fifth continuously?
Well, he's pleading the Fifth because former President Biden provided him with a blanket pardon for his actions while he was serving as a government official. So anything that comes after that is not covered. So his testimony before Congress could be taken or could be used as a means for prosecution if the lawmakers believe that he's lying or not being completely truthful. So he's just trying to stay away from that.
And that was my take on it, too. Like, he's got anything from 2014 till the end of the Biden administration, he's got a get-out-of-jail-free card. He's got the pass, the immunity. And my thought was, when I heard his opening statement, that he doesn't want to go to jail. Like, no one wants to go to jail. And he didn't want to slip up and maybe perjure himself, either accidentally or on purpose, and then be subject to, future litigation.
That's correct. And so he brought one of his attorneys with him to this hearing, and actually Senator Paul kicked the attorney out after he continued to try to speak. However, there were multiple senators there, including Democratic Senator Gary Peters, who wanted to hear from his attorney and who provided the reasoning that said that, Fauci has testified multiple times before Congress without an attorney, especially pertaining to the pandemic and how it was handled within both the Trump and Biden administrations. And so they wanted to grant him access to the Fifth Amendment and his right to have an attorney present with him when he's providing, such testimony before lawmakers that could turn into a legal battle.
Ashley, is the hearing over for today, or are they just taking a lunch break?
I believe they're taking a break right now.
Okay. And at the end of, I don't know how long the hearing is going to go, if it's going to stretch multiple days, but since he is pleading the Fifth, is anything going to come out of this aside from some lawmakers up for re-election scoring political points?
Well, I think that what we can see from this is that lawmakers are intentional about this investigation. As I'm sure you've discussed today, there have been diary entries released. There's over 1,000 pages there. And I think as they continue to dive deeper into his actions, whether or not on government servers or outside of that, we could continue to see Fauci called back before this committee on the Senate and in other realms. So I definitely think it does not end here. Whether or not we'll get anything today, I don't think so.
And he, again, just to reiterate, Ashley, he is there because of a subpoena, right? They asked him to voluntarily come. He declined, and now they issued a subpoena, which is why we're seeing him today.
That's correct, and that's why his attorney had to leave, because he said he was not the person subpoenaed, and they strictly want to hear from Fauci.
All right. Ashley, if folks want to follow your coverage of the Fauci hearing, where can we find you on social media?
Ashley Fields _ on X, and my name is ASHLEIGH FIELDS _.
Ashley, thanks for the Fauci and Fetterman updates. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
There you go. Ashley Fields from News Nation. All right, so maybe Fetterman, he wore a suit and tie to the Lindsey Graham funeral, and maybe he, is renting it. And he's like, let me get the most out of it. I don't, I've got it for 36 hours. So
the same one?
Yeah, like, let me get the most bang for my, that was shocking to me. He looked good in a suit. He looked good. So anyway, Senator John Fetterman. All right, so it's just a break right now. We'll see if the Fauci hearing continues and how many more times he will plead the Fifth. When we come back, we got a big facility expansion down in Fairburn. Could impact a lot of the listeners. We'll tell you about that after we check the ride around town. Hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Watching this crash clean up in Norcross, 85 northbound Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. All lanes shut down temporarily as Hero Unit is in the process of dragging this damaged vehicle to the right shoulder. Heavy delays back to 285. It's also slowing the 285 ramps to I-85 northbound, but hopefully we'll get some lanes reopened here soon. All lanes temporarily blocked and reopened in Marietta as well. 75 north northbound between North and South Marietta Parkway. That has since reopened. Traffic brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Impact Fitness Foundation are bringing whole health to Atlanta area schools. Learn more at anthem.com/dream. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Get your medical questions answered with the Doctors on Call, presented by Northside Hospital. This Sunday, we'll be joined by Dr. Heather Weissman, an ophthalmology specialist who will take your calls while discussing vision and cataract surgery. Tune in this Sunday at 8 a.m. for the Doctors on Call, presented by Northside Hospital on 95.5 WSB.
Road construction and traffic go hand in hand, and neither is going away. Smiler Mark McKay for John Foy & Associates. The worst part of my job is reporting crashes with injuries. If you get hurt, call the Strong Arm for a strong settlement. JohnFoy.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
Severe thunderstorms, a staple of summer in Atlanta. Don't let those severe storms impact your roof. It's Mark Arum here for my pals at Dr. Roof. Go to drroof.com now for coupons up to a 50-year workmanship warranty and a price match guarantee. Online at drroof.com.
Peace of mind is finding a little quiet in your day. Right now, up to $8,500 off MSRP or 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2026 Murano. Nissan of Coming. Peace of mind. Every vehicle, every visit.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Summer's a time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or your tan. Hey guys, it's Mark Arum here. I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. There's absolutely no one in hair restoration I trust more than Advanced Hair. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair summer sales event on for a limited time, so get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Proud supporters of iPaw Rescue, a nonprofit founded by legendary business activist Carl Icahn, where 100% of donations go to saving dogs' lives. That's AA MCO.
Attention Georgia homeowners, I have a question. If new windows are supposed to save you money on your energy bills, why should you have to wait to start saving? Hey, it's Ray, founder of Window Comfort, and during America's 250th anniversary celebration, we're doing something we've never done before. If you replace all the windows in your home and show us your current power bill, we're going to write you a check for 3 months of your electricity. That's right. We're going to start saving you money before we ever install the windows. And it gets better. Right now, we're doing buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Buy 4, get 4 free. Buy 5, get 5 free. Plus, we're going to add free installation for a short period of time. You have nothing to lose and everything to save. So go to windowcomfort.com and get your free, no-pressure estimate today.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort. Let freedom ring.
Not the Sean Hannity Show. It's the Mark Arum Show at 11:24. But that is Martina McBride, country singer, turning 60 today. Does she get residuals for the use of that song?
She should, right? I'm sure yeah.
Yeah, then I got to pay residuals to James and Theopolis, London. Right. Yeah, I forget I brought it up. Just a happy birthday.
I think we're protected.
To Martina McBride. Big local story here, Deborah. We've got a facility expanding in Fairburn. What does the facility do, and what's this expansion look like?
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with post-consumer brands. Ever bought Fruity Pebbles or any of those kinds of cereals? They also make all kinds of pet food, so they are going to expand their facility, a $32 million warehouse in Fairburn. It should add about 35 additional jobs. So apparently they have one there.
Sure, absolutely.
But they want to make it a lot bigger. They want to make it like their...
What are your thoughts that they make Fruity Pebbles and dog food at the same facility? Does that...
I'm sure there's different assembly lines,
I understand.
right? Yeah. I don't really eat that kind of cereal.
I didn't grow up
with the sugary
cereals, but once I got to college, I went ham.
Yeah.
I was like, Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, give me all the good stuff, and that's why I got the freshman
Lucky
15.
Charms.
Oh,
I like Lucky Charms.
I don't dig
the marshmallows.
The marshmallow?
I like the marshmallow, yeah.
Marshmallows
or
and milk,
Cocoa
not my
Krispies.
thing. Oh, speaking of food, can you pull this up? Food expiration dates. I am very weird when it comes to food expiration dates. Like, if the food expires, today's the 29th. If the food expires on the 30th, on the 29th, I'm like, I don't want to trust it. Like, I just don't do that. I know it's weird, but we have some clarification now on food expiration dates?
No, not even.
Oh, okay.
So the problem is that there's no actual standards for terms like best before, best by, best used by, enjoy by, sell by. Yeah, there's no actual like standard, and each state can do things differently as well as each producer of whatever you're selling. So there's no way to determine, but most people most companies say like it doesn't mean it's bad by that date. So if you bought milk and it expires today, you could probably still drink it for another 2 days.
Nope.
They're saying it's going to be at its best quality, and today will be the last day.
Yeah.
But again, there's no standard for it, and that's why they're saying it causes about 80% of people discarding good food.
Food waste.
Food waste, yes.
I'm the number one offender of that. If it's even close to it doesn't even have to be at the expiration date. If it's close, I'm out. Put that on my campaign platform. Mandated. You must not ingest this product by a certain date. No more nebulous best by, sell by. No. This is a drop-dead date. Chuck it after this date. That's going to be one of my big campaign platform promises. 11:27. Sabrina has you news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, Deborah's got John Mellencamp tickets, and we're going to talk tech with Kim Commando. All of that straight ahead on the Mark Arum Show.
Belinda Skelton here, and I'm with Troy Pensa. Took me up on my free offer of a heart scan from Virtual Imaging and has an incredible story to tell.
I had actually signed up for an Ironman triathlon. As a proactive measure, I went to Virtual Imaging to get my heart scan done. Turns out that my score was a little higher than anticipated. Luckily, my primary care physician took serious notice of it, referred me to a cardiologist. I had my stress test and found out I had 3 blockages.
You weren't having any symptoms.
As an athlete and somebody who's been active my entire life, I never thought that I would even have a remote blockage, but turns out that it's hereditary.
You didn't even experience any chest pains?
None whatsoever.
Wow, that's the scary part. What are you waiting for? Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan with few minimum requirements. If not for yourself, then do it for a loved one. Call now at 770-678-SCAN or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com. 770-678-SCAN.
You finally got that dream home. Then a pipe burst. Now you're draining your savings to drain the basement, and your other bills keep flooding in. But with Home Tap, you could tap into your home equity to cover renovations, debt, or whatever comes next. And unlike other home equity products, a Home Tap home equity investment has no monthly payments or impact on your mortgage rate. So consider using what you've already built. After all, it's your home. Tap into it. See how much you could get at HomeTap.com.
Looking for something this weekend? Head to Lakewood 400 Market, where shopping feels like an adventure. Shop over 500 booths packed with home decor, fashion, art, collectibles, and one-of-a-kind finds. Grab a bite, bring a dog, make a day of it. Lakewood 400 Market. Discover something you didn't know you were looking for.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage, your dealership alternative. Happening right now, Dr. Anthony Fauci invoking the fifth during a Capitol Hill hearing on COVID. The Senate committee, led by Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, questioning Dr. Anthony Fauci, accusing the former head of the COVID response team of misleading Americans about the source of the virus and lying to Congress.
Many people believe this came from the lab. Do you think that the risks really are worth the benefits for gain-of-function research?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Now, the origin of the pandemic is still a question. Fauci long contending that it's most likely the scenario is that the virus spread from animals to humans. Rand Paul saying the virus was likely released from a laboratory in China that was studying coronavirus. Your weather for today, less humid, mostly sunny and a high of 90, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Well, it was some scary moments. A pilot of a Delta flight inbound from Pittsburgh had to request a go-around after another aircraft was still on the approaching runway. But that then put the aircraft too close to a Delta flight that was taking off.
Delta 2472, Delta 1568, turn left. Can you turn left?
We're in the left turn now, Delta 1568.
Okay, Delta 1568, thank you. Turn left. Delta 2472, turn right now, heading 090.
And that's the audio from liveatc.net indicating that the planes were less than 2,000 feet apart. Nobody was injured. The FAA is now investigating that incident. Well, the race to fill Georgia's 13th congressional district going into overtime.
Voters in U.S. Congressional District 13 will be heading back to the polls again next month as no candidate running in the race to fill the seat left vacant after Congressman David Scott's death in April got more than 50% of the vote on Tuesday. His daughter, Marcy Scott, is running and received 46.7%, coming in on top. She'll be facing Democrat Everton Blair, who received 36.7% of the vote in the runoff election, which is set for August 25th. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
Senator Lindsey Graham being remembered by friends, family, colleagues, and world leaders.
Honored in Washington on Tuesday from the U.S. Capitol, where he represented South Carolina for more than 30 years, to the National Cathedral, where President Trump recalled Graham as an advisor and friend.
Now, Kelly O'Donnell reports that President Trump eulogized the South Carolina Republican as a giant of the U.S. Senate. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Ukrainian President Zelensky among the world leaders who attended the funeral. Graham died suddenly on July 11th at the age of 70, a service being held next hour in his home state of South Carolina. Update on the conflict in the Middle East. U.S. forces in the region on high alert after a surprise attack by Iran, breaking a days-long pause in the fighting. Rachel Scott has more from the White House.
This goes against everything the president has been saying for days. He has insisted that Iran badly wants to make a deal. Sources tell me he even put off a major escalation in this conflict to give way for diplomacy. But Iran is clearly not interested in that, launching another attempted attack overnight.
Be sure and stay with us for continuing live team coverage of the conflict in the Middle East here on 95.5 WSB and on the WSB radio app. Let's take a look at the markets. We're still in negative territory. The Dow's down more than 1.5%. NASDAQ's down more than a full percent. The S&P's not far behind. Alex Williams, how are we doing on the roads on this Wednesday morning?
Well, better news in Norcross, Sabrina. That crash is cleared. All lanes are open. 85 northbound at Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. That's put a lot of pressure on Jimmy Carter Boulevard in both directions, trying to get to I-85 as people were heading up their alternate routes to bypass that crash. 285 southbound, the outer loop on the west side. That's slow into the work zone, starting before the Bolton Road Bridge down to I-20 exit 10. Picking up a new slow zone in West Atlanta, 20 westbound between MLK Junior Drive and Holmes Drive. I'm going to scan the jam cam and check on that. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy skies for this afternoon, high 93. Humidity levels decreasing, so cooling off for tonight, lows in the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 91. Staying dry on Friday with partly cloudy skies, highs in the low 90s.
84 degrees in Johns Creek, Winder, and Roswell. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
WSB's looking for a home for Olivia. Chris Chandler here from Atlanta's Morning News. She's our dog of the month with Paws Atlanta. Puppy of the month, actually. 3-month-old Shepherd mix. Best behaved pup you've ever seen. WSBradio.com/dog. Have a look. Our sponsor, Finley Roofing, pays the adoption fees. WSBradio.com/dog.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights.
Coming up next, the latest from the Fauci hearing. Deborah's got tickets to give away, and we'll talk tech with Kim Commando. So much more to come next on The Mark Arum Show.
Breda Pest Management protects our homes from bugs and critters and supports the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. It's Scott Slade with Matt Breda. Thank you for making a $20,000 donation to the WSB Care-A-Thon.
It's thanks to our new Breda clients that we were able to make a real impact to help fund research and give hope and support to families with children fighting cancer.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Waiting for the right time to replace those drafty, rotting old windows? Now's the time. NG Windows is having their biggest sale of the year. Save 24% off, plus up to 12 months, no interest, no payments. Upgrade to beautiful Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows now and save 24% off. Hurry, sale ends July 31st. Window and door shopping made simple.
Infinity by Marvin from NG Windows, yeah. Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James, the only firm to call if you're hurt in a crash. 800-9-million and sweetjames.com.
Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you receive a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. Do you have a plumbing issue but have a busy weekday schedule? Superior Plumbing can schedule an appointment that fits your schedule. They show up on time and get the job done right the first time. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years.
He packed in the animals 2x2, ox, a camel, and a kangaroo.
11:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Before we talk to the digital goddess Kim Commando, Deborah, you've got another amazing prize pack to give away.
Tickets to see John Mellencamp at Amerisbank Amphitheater this Saturday, August 1st.
Am I going to get a chance to interview Mr. Mellencamp or no? Not this go around?
We'll see, but I am thinking no.
I saw a clip from him online being interviewed. I guess he's promoting this tour, and he was recording his big premiere album, whatever, in the same studios that the Eagles were recording Hotel California. And he was telling the story like he would leave his studio and walk past the Eagles and hear them and be like, what am I even doing in this business? Like, it was very a humbling experience for her. Anyway, pair of tickets. Let's do the 8th caller to Darius. Caller number 8 to 404-872-0750. 8th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see John Mellencamp, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB.
But she always knows
Joining us live, our good friend, the most syndicated talk show in America. We're blessed to have her at 95.5 WSB, the one and only Kim Commando. Good morning, Kim.
Hello there, Mark. Long time no talk.
I know you've been well, my friend?
Yes, well, I was a little sick, and then I went on a driving adventure through Montana and Wyoming. Which was kind of tough because for like 4 hours in the car, there was no cell phone service.
That can be annoying. I had that the other day at home, and my power was out, and I couldn't get cell phone, and I was only for like 25 minutes. But I was like in panic mode, like, oh my God, this is the worst thing. You didn't have some of that bad lettuce at Taco Bell to get you ill.
No, I did not. No, thank goodness, thank goodness. But I'll tell you what I did bring along on my trip was Meta's AI glasses.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ever seen these, but they look like regular Ray-Bans, and it's kind of like there's a computer sitting on your nose. There's camera, there's open air speakers. It puts also there's a model that puts a tiny screen right in the lens, so you get text and turn-by-turn directions. And it's all controlled by a wristband that reads the signals in your hand, so you can just flick a finger to reply. It's really, really high-tech stuff.
That's I've got to get on. I want the language translating feature the most, I think, out of these smart glasses.
Oh yeah, it does that. Exactly. And you can also say, hey, Meta, and it has built-in AI. It answers questions. You can point at a plant, that menu in Italian, a landmark. It really does work. But there is a downside to this.
Okay.
Is that if you look around a coffee shop, maybe somebody's wearing these glasses, and you can actually film whatever you are looking at.
Yep.
And nobody really notices. There was a case not too long ago where it was actually out of England where a couple met up on a dating app, and they subsequently went back to her place and, did the wild thing. And
Nookie. We call it Nookie.
Okay, they did the Nookie. And the next day, the guy sent her a recording that he did with the glasses and said, look, what a great time we had.
Well, the first red flag, him keeping his glasses on, that should have been an indication.
I thought the same thing. I mean, he's fully naked except for his glasses.
There was some controversy with the smart glasses. I don't know if it was Meta or not at the World Series of Poker in Las Vegas. They have been banned. Like, you cannot wear smart glasses at the poker table. But apparently someone did. He did some sort of a cover-up, allegedly, to make him not look like smart glasses and made him look like, regular Ray-Ban sunglasses. Mm-hmm. But there's an accusation that he was using them. And you might be like, well, what's the advantage there? There are these online solvers, poker solvers, where you can type in what is going on in the hand, and the AI solver will tell you whether to bet, raise, fold, etc. So that's like a big controversy at the World Series of Poker this year.
Well, and that's an interesting story because you can't really tell if they are recording. I mean, there's a tiny white LED that lights up when the camera's running. And so you can see if there's a faint dot near the hinge. But there are all these tricks online on how to make sure that doesn't show up. And they do look like ordinary Ray-Bans. The camera hides in the corner of the frame. And the camera captures a photo so fast that light barely blinks. And seriously, just a piece of tape or a dab of a marker covers that light entirely. And so, basically, if you're wondering if you are being recorded, look out for, strangers' lenses. Like they aim the way maybe a beat too long, or they tap their finger on the side of the frames. And now just keep in mind is that, video in public is generally legal, where nobody expects privacy. You can be filmed. But of course, private can happen in public. You have bathrooms, locker rooms, right, dresser rooms. That's a crime, not a gray area. So you just want to, just be aware that this is happening.
Yet another reason I don't want to leave the house. I just want to stay inside and binge watch all of my streaming apps, which I'm, by the way, paying too much for, I'm sure. I've got all the streaming apps. I've been crushing Broadchurch on Netflix. It's an older show, like a British crime drama from like 2013, but I've been obsessed with it the last couple of days. What am I doing wrong when it comes to streaming apps?
Well, most people, they sign up for everything. And I'm raising my hand. Not for me, but for my husband. I think
Okay.
he signs up for anything that has a subscription. And what I do is I go on his phone. He doesn't know this. Well, no, he knows. Now he knows. But I go on his phone under subscriptions and I just delete everything. And then about like 2 months later, it's like, Kim, did you cancel? I'm like, yeah, I did. But what I'm trying to direct him to is that there are ways that you can watch things for free, like the Roku channel. You get 500 plus live channels, thousands of free movies and shows. Now, here's the deal. You don't need the Roku device in order to have the Roku channel. You can just grab the app on your phone or smart TV and you can watch on the web. Tubi, that's Tubi.
Yeah.
They have about 300,000 movies, 400 plus originals. There's also Pluto TV. So you might be saying like, well, why is it free?
Ads.
Yes. Let's
Yeah.
go back to 1950s. It turns out that they were onto something,
Yeah.
right? Free TVs with ads.
It's so annoying, though, if you're used to an ad-free app. And I forgot what it was, maybe Paramount Plus or something. And I had to watch a show. And what is it?
Peacock, probably.
Yeah, Peacock. And I was like, oh, these freaking ads. Like, if you're used to an ad-free environment watching your shows, it can be very frustrating.
It can be very frustrating, but somebody's got to pay for it, right? And so that's
Yeah.
where ads
No,
come.
I get it.
What you can do is dig into your TV settings, and of course, all this is being tracked. And so, what you want to do is limit ad tracking, and you want to stick to the big names, those sketchy free movie websites that maybe your nephew uses. Those are like malware buffets.
Yeah.
So you just want to not go there.
Let me ask a selfish question. I mean, tough economic times, cost of living. I'm trying to cut back on my monthly budget, and I've subscribed to a number of websites, for work, right? News services, but there's too many. I'm not using some of them. I want to pare down not just my streaming subscriptions, but subscriptions in general. Can you guide me on the best way to do this and cancel all of these things?
Well, first of all, you ought to see what you can do with AI because you probably don't need subscriptions to all these news sites.
Okay.
Like every morning, I have what's called the morning brief, and I have an agent that goes out the entire web and scans everything to give me the top 15 tech news stories. That's
Okay.
number one. So that might help you out. But what you want to do is you want to open your bank statement and look at things that are recurring charges. And those are going to be all your subscriptions because it could be $1 a month, it could be $20 a month. And you also have to look at your phone subscriptions because maybe you didn't put it on, maybe it's not tracked on your credit card. Maybe it's actually being tracked on through your phone. And then there are also like subscription services that you can pay to find your subscriptions. I know it sounds so ironic, but sites like Rocket Money is that you can sign up with them. They have a free trial or they have a free platform rather, free level. And then they go out and they find all your subscriptions and then they tell you which ones that you can cancel. But then you can also set up your credit card alerts to be recurring charges, and that's another way
Okay,
to
so
find them.
this one just popped up today, Apple News, which I don't use anymore because Deborah gives me all the news that's fit to print. How do I go about canceling that? It's a reoccurring charge on my credit card. What do I do to cancel that?
You'll go on your iPhone,
Okay.
go into your profile, and then there's a button that says subscriptions, and then that's where you can unsubscribe to any subscription right there that is tied to your iPhone itself.
All right, where's my profile? I know this is great radio.
Settings, I believe, right?
Yes.
Settings.
Here,
Okay,
yeah, we'll
it's
do
open.
it together. This is great radio. You go to settings,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna see at the top. You're gonna see like your happy face.
Yep.
And then you're gonna tap
Click on that. Okay.
And then there's subscriptions.
Heard. You're so good. All right, that's all I need to do. All right, I've got Apple Music, which I don't use, $12. Apple News, which I don't
Apple
use,
Music is going up, too.
$13. And the iCloud storage.
You probably want that because you do save a lot of photos and videos on your phone.
Yeah. All right. Look at that. Kim, you are the gift that keeps on giving. Folks want to sign up for your AI newsletter. How do we do that?
Go to getkim.com. Million folks every day, 5-star rated,
Love it.
getkim.com.
And that's free. You don't have to pay a monthly subscription, right?
There's an ad.
Oh,
okay,
that's
just
okay.
saying.
That's
Okay.
Someone's got to pay for it.
You betcha.
Kim, great stuff as always. Thanks, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
All right, 11:47. Congrats to Kathy in Alpharetta. She won another pair of tickets to see John Mellencamp. Not another pair for her. she just won a pair. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Congrats, Kathy. We'll come back, hit our top local stories right now. 11:47, live with the latest on the roads. Here's Alex Williams.
Hey, Mark, just had all lanes blocked and reopened again in Marietta. 75 northbound before North Marietta Parkway. Some more trouble there. Moved to the right shoulder. 85 northbound, still pretty bunched up in the Norcross from 285 up to a crash completely off to the right shoulder at Jimmy Carter Boulevard. And a tap of the brakes into Midtown. 75-85 southbound from 17th Street as you pass Georgia Tech. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Air. If your AC kicks on, then shuts right back off, that's your system struggling to run correctly. Call Reliable Air. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The 26th annual WSB Radio Care-A-Thon.
$2,306,264.
That's awesome. And we want to thank our friends over at Jim Ellis Automotive, Cool Ray, Finley Roofing, and Sudlow Concrete for their contribution and continued support for the kids at the Affleck Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's.
Your donation saves lives.
Breda Pest Management protects our homes from bugs and critters and supports the Affleck Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. It's Scott Slade with Matt Breda. Thank you for making a $20,000 donation to the WSB Care-A-Thon.
It's thanks to our new Breda clients that we were able to make a real impact to help fund research and give hope and support to families with children fighting cancer.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 25% upfront bonus? And are they promising you up to 9% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait, only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They aren't. That's up to $25,000 upfront or up to $9,000 per year on $100,000, guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states has Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Scott Slade here with the president of Loud Security Systems, John Loud. A job when it comes to protecting your business and employees, compromise isn't an option.
Exactly, Scott. At Loud Security, we provide extensive commercial security systems so you can be sure your assets, employees, and property are under constant vigilant protection.
And you cover it all. 24/7 intrusion detection, live video monitoring with virtual guard response, even smart access control.
Plus, fully managed life safety systems, fire alarm, and fire suppression systems, including fire extinguishers and sprinkler inspections.
With customizable solutions, real-time alerts, and your team blending today's technology with old-fashioned service, business owners can stay focused on what they do best.
That's the Loud Security Systems promise. Business security monitoring you can trust.
So trust the local experts at Loud Security. Call today, mention me, Scott, and get 3 months free monitoring when you get Loud.
Loud Security Systems. Call 678. Get Loud.
Geddy Lee, singer bassist for Rush, turns 73 years old today. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Deborah, I know you are doing all you can for the cause, but for folks that are slacking like me, the American Red Cross has declared a blood emergency.
Yeah, they're saying this is a 4-year low. It's a national blood supply crisis, and it's because you've had so many things happening this summer. You've had extreme heat. You've had this wildfire smoke. You've had the lettuce parasite outbreak, and
Did you need a blood transfusion
well,
from the explosive diarrhea?
It depends on how sick some of these people get. But, so hospitals have had this huge demand. So if you have type O, particularly type O positive blood, you're a universal donor, consider going to the Red Cross. We did a blood drive at the Care-A-Thon.
Yes.
I know a lot of people were able to stop in and do that. So if you're eligible and you can donate blood, it takes like 15 minutes.
Yeah, a national emergency. And you do it more than anyone.
I'm going
I know.
Sunday.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I need to start doing it again. I the last time I did, I passed out. And
really?
Yeah.
Did you not eat
Did
something?
you eat?
Yeah.
I always eat.
Well, yeah.
Don't look at it. Look the other way.
That was it.
Yeah,
you
don't look. Don't look.
So
look
I've
the
been
other way.
hesitant.
Close your eyes. Put your earbuds in or something.
I got that sleep mask. I'll put the sleep mask on.
That's it.
Heard.
Game changer.
I need to do it. I got to step up. I am slacking. Thankfully, Deborah continues to donate. But yeah, if you can, especially type O negative, you said?
Well, I wish. Type O positive. Is a universal donor.
Yeah, please get out there and donate.
Now you know, because of the Mark Arum Show.
President Trump reiterating that he's going to hit Iran hard after CENTCOM confirmed that it had successfully intercepted multiple missiles that were launched at U.S. forces in the region overnight in what was considered to be a surprise attack.
Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall joined us live from the White House on the re-escalation militarily between the United States and Iran. And, the Saudis got involved as well. Now you know.
Voters in Georgia understand that even though the national climate is not great, things are more expensive from a federal perspective. In Georgia, Republicans have done a very good job leading this state at the state level, making some of those economic decisions.
That was political analyst Stephen Lawson live in studio. Really great in-depth breakdown of the current election cycle here in the state of Georgia. Now you know.
Well, he's pleading the fifth because former President Biden provided him with a blanket pardon for his actions while he was serving as a government official. So anything that comes after that is not covered. So his testimony before Congress could be used as a means for prosecution.
Ashley Fields from News Nation joined us live on Capitol Hill. We had in-depth coverage on the Fauci hearing today. In case you're just joining us, the headline of the day, I plead the fifth. Now you know because of the Mark Arum Show.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum Star of the Show?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
No,
to the
Fauci's not getting star of the show. I'm giving one to Fetterman, though. John Fetterman wearing a suit and tie. Great stuff from him. We had some really good guests today. Stephen Lawson will give him one. Shannon Kingston at the State Department. Always a pleasure to talk to her. Tyler Kendall joined us live from the White House. And Deborah, you're getting one. I don't know if you know this, Vinny. Deborah, nominated for 2 Marconi Awards. No big deal. No,
come on now. Just keep it up.
We're all nominated
but
for
you
a
are nominated
Award.
for 2. We're going to have to get Deborah a bigger trophy shelf. I
got started show for Darius. He brought around biscuits.
Yeah, Darius out of nowhere.
And Jim, actually. Oh, I got some more for you.
Oh, really? All right, Darius and Gentleman Jim, stars of the show. Free chicken biscuit. Darius, I don't know how you did it, but thank you, Darius.
Yeah,
all right, I'm going to be up on social media throughout the day at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Wednesday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard.
Sponsored by Southern Exteriors.
If you're looking for a used vehicle without a lot of miles on it, the best deals in the marketplace are used electrics. Now, new electrics are still more expensive than the equivalent gas engine vehicle, but at the used vehicle lot, totally different story. Just got to really think through, does the range of the vehicle work for you? And how much warranty is left on the batteries of that electric vehicle that you're buying before you buy it?
Waiting for the right time to replace those drafty, rotting old windows? Now's the time. NG Windows is having their biggest sale of the year. Save 24% off, plus up to 12 months no interest,